Hello everyone and welcome to another aga-cad webinar, Mastering Structural Detailing in Revit. Today we're showcasing Smart Connections, a powerful tool that boosts efficiency, accuracy, and overall project quality in Revit 3D modeling. My name is Ludvikas Usonis and I'll be your host. So we'll dive into advanced automatic 3D modeling in Revit. Focusing on our tool, Smart Connections, we'll start by talking about its features and then show you how it works. First up, we'll demonstrate how easily Smart Connections can adjust different element shapes. Next, we'll walk through various situations, demonstrating how, with just a few clicks, you can quickly add hundreds of families accurately. And we'll wrap things up by showing you how Smart Connections can be used in different types of projects. A couple things about me. I'm a BIM application engineer in aga-cad. I'm educated as an architectural technologist. Also, I'm a certified Autodesk Revit professional. I have different kind of experience working on lots of BIM projects in different worlds, continents. And in aga-cad, I'm responsible for Precast concrete suite development. Couple things about aga-cad. Throughout our extensive experience, we have collaborated and formed partnerships with diverse clients worldwide. To be more precise, we've been in the industry for more than 30 years, and our first Revit add-on was developed in 2007. It was a wood framing modeling plugin that also was focused towards efficiency and accuracy. And a couple of years ago, we've joined Arcan's group, an extensive network that facilitates client interactions. We're authorized Autodesk developers within the Arcan's group, as I mentioned, offering a range of applications for Revit that suit different workflows. Our main areas of focus are modeling, documentation, and data management. Our goal is more than just selling software. We want to help Revit users improve their workflows, cut out tedious tasks, and ensure model accuracy. Over the years, we've developed a variety of BIM software for tasks like precast concrete, wood and metal framing, MEP hangers, and more. Today, we'll specifically highlight the Smart Connections, efficiency, and accuracy in 3D modeling. Now, before our first Smart Connections demonstration, I want to highlight what values you can get using our tool when you reshape different system families or line-based families automatically with Smart Connections. And first one is undoubtedly is essential for estimating project costs, materials, and resources. Users can extract detailed and reliable information about the quantities of materials needed for construction. Model accuracy and integrity significantly contributes by providing reliable and precise information about the building's components. This enhances decision-making, minimizes errors, and supports various phases of the building life cycle from design to construction and maintenance. Accurate volumes are essential for energy analysis and simulations. Revit's BIM capabilities enable the evaluation of a building's performance, including heating and cooling loads, based on the precise geometry of elements, including their cuts and voids. And modeling accurate volumes with cuts and voids in Revit enables clash detection and coordination. This means that potential conflicts between different building systems can be identified and resolved in the virtual model before construction begins, reducing errors and rework in the field. Alright, so with that being said, we can move on to our first Smart Connections demonstration. And I'll just comment a bit what's going on here. So here we have 3 vertically designed precast concrete walls. And what we want to do now is to reshape them, adding line-based families on top and also at the bottom. So I select them, use auto insertability, and here we have these walls reshaped. And as you can see, This is how we can achieve different shapes. And keep in mind that the gap size or shape can be designed according to any needs, since it's a natively designed Revit line-based family. For this situation, I want to add point-based families and line-based families. And here we have lots of different kind of cuts added with smart connections. So yes, here we have a precisely added these round cuts with equal center-to-center distance, and we have horizontal cuts that reshape the wall. And these are just a couple of samples that I'm showing to you. The tool is very flexible, it can adapt to different situations. And for example, here I have 3 walls that I want to modify, and I added cuts from the sides for top and bottom. Also have a concrete fill between the walls, and this is how we can get the exact volume and geometry using smart connections. Simply, we have these with native Revit designed families, and we can use smart connections for different kind of system families and line-based families. So here I'm utilizing smart connections for floor system family, and with these cuts I've achieved this double T slab. And again, we can use different kind of cuts to have different kind of shape of double T slab. Here I'm using these cuts for hollowcore slab. Again, we can add any shape you want. These are just simple samples how efficiently and accurately we can adjust the geometry of our elements in Revit. Alright, so we can move on to, before we move on to another demonstration, I want to highlight what values we will get when we add lots of different structural connection families automatically for our elements. And certainly, when we add hundreds of families to various elements simultaneously, it significantly saves time. Moreover, we ensure accuracy by using predetermined smart connection configuration that dictate where families should be positioned. This position specific distance from the edge or face of hosts, or by following specific placement rules that you will see in this demonstration. And obviously, when we have automation implemented into our workflow, we minimize lots of rework, we minimize lots of human errors, and we improve overall project quality. Let's move on to a demonstration. All right, so what I have here, I want to solve this corner connection with cuts and with structural connection families. And as you can see, I have modified the geometries of these walls, and I added certain cuts where I have this corner connection, right? So I have the precise volume and geometry again for these walls. Also, as you can see, I have loops added, and these loops we can have any size of these loops, we can have any size of our grout tubes, and etc. The important thing is that I used a rule that identified the corner and added certain families that I wanted to have in that corner connection. Similar situation in this scenario, I have a lot of different L connections and T connections. So there are certain rules that Smart Connections uses, and once the software detects a certain connection, I set what kind of family I want to have in that connection. For example, here I said that I want to have this kind of cut, that kind of loop added once there is T connection or L connection. And other, for example, grout tubes, they're just added by the distance from walls edges and etc. Here I'm picking foundation wall using auto insertability, and there is another rule that is that adds, in this case, tubes right below my grout tube. So again, software detected that we have these grout tubes, and therefore right below them we will have our tubes in the foundation. If I will delete and move my grout tubes, I will update, and as you can see, grout tube disappeared and moved. Not the grout tube, foundation tube in the foundation moved and disappeared. Alright, so we're moving now to so-called special parameters demonstration, and here I have these braces. These are again native Revit families that were designed with Revit, and I will modify these walls, just adjusting their height. Then I will update, and the important thing here is that my temporary braces, they will adapt to the height of these walls, and temporary braces will remain at the same angle, and they will be shortened automatically. Yeah, as you can see. So with smart connections, we can also modify families that are hosted, and they read hosts parameters to adapt to the changes when we update them. Alright, so here we have these steel columns, and I want to add steel plates for them. I will use insert elements ability that allows me to choose what kind of configurations I want to use for these steel columns, and as you can see, I've placed them. So the important thing to note here is that when I will change the size of these columns, steel plates will adapt to my column size when I will update them, because again, we have a special parameter that reads the information from, in this case, steel column, and we can utilize these kind of special parameters not only in the situations that I'm showing to you, we can use in other different cases. Alright, so here I will adjust the size of these joists, and as you can see, the brackets, they are in the wrong position. I will update, and brackets move to the correct position. What I will do again, now I will subtract some of these joists, and again I will press update. So some brackets disappear, some of them are moved to the precise position. And same situation here, I'll just delete a couple of this track. And yes, I change the size. The thing is that it's not only for joists or these structural framing families. Again, we can enter that special parameter and use it for different kind of families or hosts. What I'm doing here, I'm reducing the volume of this wall, and I will update. So what you did, it detected that this wall's weight, adjusted, and therefore it added different kind of families, because in the configurations I set that if this wall's weight will be less than some kind of number, I want to have different kind of families placed. Also, the position of these two adapted to a centroid gravity point. And with smart connections, we can add families by the gravity point, since the software automatically calculates the centroid and places elements. Alright, I think, yeah, that was it with these simple samples. We will move on, just a moment. We will move on now to different kind of situations. And keep in mind that we can use smart connections for different kind of disciplines. It's not only for precast concrete, we can use it for mass timber projects, wood framing, metal framing, etc., or for line-based families. Alright, so what I want to say is now that we are moving to more complex projects with different kind of situations where we can utilize very efficiently smart connections. And we'll begin with this precast concrete garage. I'm picking these columns and adding voids, also this connection at the bottom. So I'm creating just the shape and adding a bit of families. Now I will select all of these walls and I will press Alt Insert. So tool will add some families, again, according by the gravity point, or by set some kind of rules. For example, here I set a rule that once there is a double T family, I want to have these plates at a certain position. And now I'm adding also, I want to add corbels for these walls. If I would do that manually, it would take lots of time for me to do that, because one side of these double T's are sloping, another side is straight, and like what you see is that corbels were added right below the double T slabs, and same from another side. And here I'm picking foundation wall, and I will add structural connection families right below these elements. I showed you previously similar example, so yeah, just to, if I will make some kind of changes, update this wall, again elements will disappear or move to the correct position. And here is a sample with this girder, and again families were placed by the gravity point, or we have these cuts at the bottom of this. Alright, and we will pick now double T slabs, couple of them, press Alt Insert, and we have connections added right where we want to have them, where we have steel plates, and also we have the connection between double T slabs. Okay, and I think, yeah, we will move to another side of this building, part of a building. And what I'm doing now, I'm just using smart connections for different kind of families, system families or line-based families, in this case beams, and adding families again, according by the distance or the rule or gravity point. And here I want to update this column because there are certain connections in my beam and I want to have corbels. And again, we can add different kind of corbels for this column, since we can always select what kind of family we want to have when we use smart connections, and we set where we want to have that family. You probably wonder why I have this void added. So that's because I want to adjust my double T slabs, and I'll use cut ability, select double T slab and pick that void. And as you can see, I have adjusted the geometry exactly where I want. And yes, I have reduced volume of double T slab, and that's how we can precisely, well, in this case, model precast concrete garage. Okay, another scenario is with these tilt-up panels. Like for this example, we have lots of web joists, and I want that where there is a intersection. Alright, so now I'm picking just configurations again, what kind of elements I want to have into my tilt-up panels, and I want to have a connection right where I have a intersection of my web joist into tilt-up panel. So here we have these voids and this steel connection added precisely right where I have web joist, and I have added some families at the bottom of these tilt-up panels. Alright, so I'll delete a couple of these and I will update, since I don't need any of those families and software. will not detect those and they will just disappear. Again, here we have a bit more of these connections, and I want to add lots of steel plates for these tilt-up panels. I'm picking other configurations that set for this kind of situation, and right where I have the corner connections, I have corner connection, I have certain families added, as well as where we have web joists and foundation to wall connection. Now we will address additional scenarios with this ventilated facade scenario. So I'll just hide this insulation just to have access to this construction. I'm selecting the wall and I want to add steel brackets for this metal framing, and they have configurations for it. I'll pick them up, I'll select them, and now I will have a certain layout of my brackets, and we can always adjust the layout whatever we want to have. We can adjust the size of these brackets with smart connections configurations, because there we set these parameters. And now I want to add certain families for my insulation layer. So I'll add these fasteners, and they will be added precisely how I want to have them by my set distance. So as you can see, every insulation part is different, and all those elements were added precisely. So yeah, we can select not only a single wall, we can select multiple walls and add hundreds of families automatically. And we will finish our smart connection demonstration with this mass timber project. In the beginning of our webinar, I've mentioned that we can adjust different element geometry. So in this case, I want to modify these joists, and as you can see, we've just changed the geometry. So with smart connections, I added that extension that you see, and I want to do the same thing for these side girders. So I'll pick them and use insert elements ability. So tool will modify braces and girders. For the braces, I will have a extension, and for my girders, I will have this cut void family. And this is how we can solve this kind of connection. And again, we can always modify the size of that void or connection that we want to have, just simply designing the families and assigning their positioning with smart connections. To have a correct shape of my braces, I want to add these cut families that will reshape them, and then we will have the correct geometry. And now for these posts, I will again add the connection that I want to have. So I'll pick the correct configurations. And now in those posts, I will have voids. And for my girders, I have this extension that reshaped my girders. And yeah, like this, we will step by step modify all of these elements using smart connections. Now I have just finalized my braces, so that's what kind of result I wanted for all of these braces, and I'll finish with families that will be added at the bottom of my posts, just simply adding void families that will reshape my post. Alright, so that's how we can efficiently solve these kind of connections, and we can observe how we modified this brace. Also, we can see how this girder is modified. So again, we have cuts and we have reshaped this girder. And same with these posts. There are cuts where I need them. There are certain drilling holes where I want to have them. And yeah, I can add any kind of cuts, any kind of families that would be connected between my post and girder or between posts and braces. Alright, so now we will transition to key takeaways. Just to wrap up with smart connections, and we reduce huge opportunities for errors when we use smart connections, we reduce huge opportunities for errors since we subtract drastically our modeling process when we add thousands of families automatically. Moreover, we minimize the rework when there are certain changes. We can press update elements, software detects the new shape, and it will adjust not just positioning, but the family parameters as well automatically. And we will be always secured that everything is done precisely and accurately. Utilizing smart connections to workflow, we avoid lots of tedious work, we drastically reduce the repetitiveness, and we're able to concentrate valuable tasks. Also, when we create smart connections configurations, which is a separate file, it can be utilized for subsequent projects. When we start the new project, we can instantly achieve the efficiency that smart connections provide. So you can share those configurations between your team members, you can store them in the cloud, and you can have this efficiency instantly when you have smart connections between your team members. Alright, so I invite you to experience a 2-week trial of our software. Feel free to reach out to us during this period. We'll collaborate to enhance your daily workflow, enabling more efficient completion of your tasks. Additionally, we'll explore how our software seamlessly integrates into your existing workflow. Thank you all for participating in this webinar. You can always contact us at this email. I hope to see you in our future webinars.